while loops are a type of loop that continue to run until a condition becomes false. They're useful when you don't know how long before a condition becomes false. So we'll go ahead and create a counter, and we'll do c equals 0, and while c is less than 5, colon, and again notice how there is no parentheses for the condition this time. So once again we'll have our colon, we'll say print c, and then say c equals c plus 1. And if we don't say that c is equal to c plus 1, then our c will stay at a constant 0, and since 0 will always be less than 5, our code will continue to run forever because the condition will remain true forever. And that will cause your computer to crash, and you don't want that, so you always have to make sure that at some point the condition in your while loop becomes false. Simple terms, while loops are pretty straightforward. They're just loops of code that run until a condition becomes false. However, what is quite interesting are the two control statements that can be used to change the path that a loop normally takes. The first one is the break statement. And once again, let's set c equal to 0. So while c is less than 5, colon, print c. Now I will go ahead and say if c is equal to 3, colon, break. And then again I will say c is equal to c plus 1. So now if you run this code, you can see that when c becomes 3, the code terminates or stops, and that is what the break statement is supposed to do. So the next statement is continue, which basically lets you skip code. So let's set c equal to 3 again, while c is less than 5, and then colon, if c is equal to 3, again, don't forget a colon over here by the if statement, continue, and then print c, and then c is equal to c plus 1. Now I made a mistake here on purpose, but I want you to logically understand what mistake I made. So this code is going to run properly until it reaches 3. When c is equal to 3, it will skip this code because it will continue over it and go back to the start. However, c will still be equal to 3 at the start of the code when it returns, and we're going to go into an endless loop, which you don't want in a while loop, as your code will crash. Now if I run this, you will see that the code doesn't end. I will have to manually end it. So first we have to increment c, and only once we have incremented c can we put the continue statement. So what we can do, while c is less than 5, colon, c equal to c plus 1, and then if c is equal to 3, the continue statement, and then print c. So now we see that 3 is skipped when we print it out, and yeah, you have to make sure that you're always incrementing your c before you go back to the start of your code, because if you don't increment it, it'll just stay stuck on 3 and it'll go into an endless loop, which again, like I said, you don't want.